Welcome back to the Slate Show. We got week 2 of NFL action for you. Got a heater tonight. It's
We'll
got the
see.
Cardinals. I just saw Carr. But yeah, got the Chargers and Chiefs. I know Grayson will definitely be paying attention to that religiously. But
Something
yeah,
like
week
that.
2. Week
Yeah.
2 of
Uh,
this league.
Maybe the best game of the week tonight, unfortunately, will be played without Keenan Allen and Chief star Harrison Butker. A
Yeah,
couple of big names out of that one. I
this game on a
pray.
Thursday night makes no sense whatsoever. But
Yeah, that's my first point. Is that's stupid and should not happen. But I mean, with two games on Monday night, we didn't even make it past Thursday. But
yeah,
that being said, I will hope that Justin Herbert can deliver again. These two teams have played three times with Herbert Mahomes at the helm, and two went to overtime. The other one was decided with like 20 seconds left. So hopefully, we at least get a close one, which will make my night very miserable because we'll probably lose. But
you're
I
gonna
do think it'll be
really
competitive.
need Mike Williams to step up this week. He
Yeah,
was next. He wasn't non-existent last week.
he, yeah, that was very very strange. Thankfully, we got the win against the Raiders to open the season. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of Mike Williams, a lot of Joshua Palmer, and the new tight end Gerald Everett
And
on
Eckler probably
offense.
out of the backfield.
Oh, absolutely. He'll be catching a lot of balls tonight. We've got Travis Kelsey. It's going to be a matchup problem as he is with everybody, but Derwin James on him is going to be something you're going to see circle on the broadcast a ton tonight, I think.
Definitely.
J.C. Jackson may play in a limited fashion, but it'll be Derwin James and Asante Samuel Jr. anchoring. Our defense, of course, led by the pass rush duo in Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack.
Yeah. So I mean, we're definitely. I mean, with the game being tonight, we're definitely not gonna pick it on our slates or bets, but
No, it's
um,
too good not to mention for sure.
yeah, I do like the over in this game though. I think that it might be a
Yeah, I mean, I think Herbert can do enough, and obviously we saw last week with Mahomes putting 44 on the Cardinals that
yeah,
offense is still capable of
yeah. I
explosiveness.
mean, I could see a 27-28 game. Um,
We're gonna have to
30,
score that much too.
30. Yeah. So I like the over. I just placed a bet for the over. Matter of fact, before I forget. So yeah.
Hopefully, that's the first primetime over we see. I think to this point they're 0-3, so
God, they've been terrible. No,
hopefully,
yeah, because
yeah, this is by far the two best offenses we've
yeah.
seen, though. I mean,
Well, we
except for
thought
the
that
Rams,
we thought the Rams and the Bills were going to be a high scoring affair, but we obviously saw how that
right?
ended up. So
Yeah, hopefully, LA team delivers on offense this time around.
yeah, we shall see.
But yeah, moving to the early window on Sunday, really the more underrated rivalries I think in recent history is Tom Brady against the Saints because the Saints have owned that matchup and not much else
Surprisingly,
in the NFC South.
yeah. Well, I think we split with them just about every year. So
Yeah. But yeah, Tom Brady going to be without Chris Godwin, Leonard Fournette, Mike Evans, Leo Jones, Russell Gage, all practiced
they got
at
plenty
least
of weapons.
limited
Yeah.
today. So maybe a banged up supporting cast there.
Um,
Um,
Juice and Michael Thomas looked pretty good for the Saints last week.
yeah, if Michael Thomas is even, I would say 80% of himself, that's more than enough
Yeah.
to compensate for some Jameis Winston mistakes. Gonna need Alvin Kamara as well
Yeah.
in the backfield.
He definitely surged on late into that game.
Right.
Thomas did. So that one's going to be an interesting, fun game to watch. But I'll have my attention somewhere else, unfortunately.
And you will likely have it on your Panthers as a 2-point dog against the Giants this week. These two teams on different sides of just insane week one
Bullshit.
finishes.
I'm still.
58-yard. You know what? No, I'm not even going to do it to you.
It
I'll
was good
take
from
it
80, but it should have been a
from
70.
80.
Yep.
Yes. Don't call roughing the passer on a tackle. We'll just leave
And
it
that
there.
was illegal spike. Anyway, that was last
But
week.
yeah,
This is
vintage Saquon for the Giants last week. I think he led the league in rushing.
yeah, he looked good. Not a good
Yeah,
sight, and
ended
we
up
just could not tackle running backs at all last week. So
right. The Chubb Hunt combo did some very bad things to the Panthers last week. So with Saquon in his building, that could be a very tricky thing
definitely,
for the Matt Rule led Panthers. But I don't know. I mean, it's 2-point spread, so they're seeing it is a close matchup, but I think that's pretty reasonable.
yeah,
Daniel Jones is still the quarterback, so this Giants
yeah,
team is not off to any huge surprising season. But
yeah. And Baker, look, he settled down second half of the game. Our pass defense was played pretty well. So just got a tackle. So we shall see.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. Also in the early window, another one with two teams coming off very different Sundays last week. The Patriots, led by a thankfully healthy now Mac Jones, going to Heinz Field to take on Mitch and the Steelers. Rough week one for the Patriots. They lost, I don't know, 30-7 maybe, 20-7.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was never a blowout, but it never felt like a close game or a game the Patriots could win. Matt Patricia's genius play calling netted them 7 points, several turnovers. I think Mac Jones had some back pain that was thankfully spasms, nothing more serious, so he should be fine. The Steelers team, I mean, talking about snatching defeat from
Yeah,
the jaws of victory. +5 on turnovers, I think. They forced 5.
it shouldn't be. If you force that many turnovers, get points off of turnovers, get a pick six, you shouldn't be relying on a field goal in overtime. But
Right.
that's obviously why they were in that situation, because their defense is so good.
Yeah, I mean, Cincinnati had an extra point to win the game essentially. Missed that. Several missed kicks in OT. Almost had another tie at 20-20, but all as well was true. And 23-20 was that final.
Yep.
Disappointing opener for Burrow and the Bengals. But
is TJ officially out for this game?
Oh yeah, he's actually he's on the IR, so he'll be out for the next 4 at a minimum.
Okay, that's what I thought. I never saw anything of official. I just saw he wasn't going to get surgery, but
yeah, that was earlier today too.
Yeah,
so pretty recent breaking news on a Thursday afternoon. But
and Pittman was not. Speaking of Pittman,
not at practice.
Yeah, so that's kind of that will play big for this next game that we got lined up. Colts Jags. AFC South needs a win. Obviously, they don't have one.
They got a tie. They do not have a win, but I suspect we will.
A tie is a loss. Come on, that's a loss.
Yeah, they should not. I know player safety is important, but find a way to not have ties is ridiculous.
Yeah. But Trevor, first home game this year. Need to see him make a couple more throws, hit Travis in the open, in the back of the end zone. That was a touchdown, obviously, but just completely overthrew him. But they didn't look terrible. Travis looks like he's going to be a weapon.
Right.
Colts
the chances were there
weird.
to make plays. So I think even with James Robinson leaving the charge on the ground, ETN can get plenty of work from his former college QB through the air.
You could see that connection was there for a few plays, but still got to iron out the kinks.
Right. It's not all the way there yet. And I mean, one weekend, if the opportunities are there, I fully expect ETN to take advantage. So
yep.
I feel my recency bias baked into a number. I mean, this Colts team, if they go out and they beat Houston 37-13 last week.
Yeah, this
spread is a 7-point spread.
Yeah.
At least. I mean, I know road division dogs are nothing to underestimate, but I just don't quite get this. I mean, we're still getting Jonathan Taylor. I realize Pittman's banged up and hasn't practiced to this point this week, I believe, but they've got Alec Pierce, a rookie. They've got other options there as well. Not the deepest receiving core. And Matt Ryan, obviously.
Yeah.
Not a spotless debut.
It's like a Hines.
Means, but
they can use Hines out of the backfield too.
Right, and they've got it's not just JT and Pittman weapons wise this offense.
Who's their tight end? I couldn't tell you that at all.
That's a good question. Doyle's gone. Mo Alley Cox maybe.
I'll look it up.
Okay. But yeah, this another tricky line as you scroll through the board this weekend. But yeah, maybe a little bit of reaction to last week from the Colts. They actually were lucky to even tie against Houston. They were getting thoroughly beaten, and then had a wild comeback to at least force OT, and then couldn't capitalize on any faster than on offense in overtime, and that ended with a 20-20 tie with Houston.
Yep, it is Mo Alley.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be an interesting game, just in general.
Right. Another one with 3.5 point spread. I think it's going to be a much better game personally. Tua and the Dolphins go to the Ravens and Lamar Jackson in an early slate game that has game of the week potential, I think. It may not be high scoring, but if you like defense, that's going to be one to tune into.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely a fun early game. I mean, the Dolphins look good, offense and defense.
Yeah,
they weren't clicking. Tua's got weapons now.
Cylinders. Yeah, I mean, the Tyreek Hill connection was there. They weren't clicking fully on offense, I won't say. I mean, it's always tough to play the Patriots, especially that defense. Even that they've lost some names as well, but Gilmore, Van Noy no longer there, but it's still a Belichick team. They're going to play defense, so I'll give credit to
Yep.
Tua for getting that win in week one. But yeah, on the road now against the Ravens. Um, Ravens they're by 3.5. I think that's pretty deserved. They
Yeah.
handled the Jets with pretty
Don't they? Is
relative ease last week.
is Dobbins back? Pretty sure I saw somewhere they get J.K. Dobbins back because I was looking at
I think
picking
he
up.
practiced, but I don't know if he'll be up for this game.
I was looking at picking up their whoever's their main running back right now,
Kenyon
Kenyon Drake.
Drake.
But I saw like on the notes that said it's probable that or possible that Dobbins is back.
He
But
may be in pads and a jersey and see the field. I don't think he'll be given an instant workload, maybe a Cam Akers situation, but expected this time with a decreased workload. Although Akers says he's 100%, so maybe something else non-health related there. But yeah, that Ravens backfield needs him badly because they looked terrible.
yeah, they did nothing.
Obviously, it's the Jets, so.
But still, you want a little bit more production. You'd think they would be able to produce against the Jets.
Right. You want to put up numbers there and get some momentum going for these tougher games. I mean, they are at home, but this Dolphins defense is very, very talented all over the place. So I think if they can contain Lamar on the ground, then he's going to have some issues. Mark Andrews is going to be a big, big name to watch in this game, as well as Rashad Bateman, his new wide receiver one. Yeah, total for this game is 44.5. So if you like offense, do not flip to this one at 1 o'clock.
I hate overs in NFL. Even though I'm betting one tonight, I mean, who knows? I hate them, but I'll still bet them.
Yeah, we'll tell you who wins this game a little bit later on. Wentz and the Commanders head down to Detroit to face the Stars of Hard Knocks and the Detroit Lions. DeAndre Swift has been out of practice to this point in the week. Apparently good to go. So him and Amon-Ra St. Brown should lead that offense now at home. Number was around 2.5, and Lions came out Monday morning.
What Lions are favored?
Down to they're still favored. It was Lions minus 2.5. Now it's Lions -1. Maybe
basically pick them.
Some uncertainty around DeAndre Swift. I mean, Wentz, albeit against the Jags, 4 TD game. Wasn't perfect, threw 2 picks, but
I thought we were waiting until Wentz really went off, according to that whoever said that in that group chat we're in for fantasy football. I was like, I'm pretty sure he had like 20-something points and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah,
but
he's definitely a popular waiver ad this week. But I think Okudah and the Lions defense are going to limit him to well under his production last week, especially in the touchdown department, even with the rookie Jahan Dotson showing out with 2 TDs.
Yeah, and the damn Lions backdoor covered me last week, so they're not terrible. They're not as terrible as people thought, or as they have been in the past. So I think they got a little spunk to them.
No, not a playoff team, but one of those teams you kind of look at and you think maybe should get a little bit more respect. I mean, here they are as a home favorite, so maybe it's starting to catch on a bit. But yeah, moving to the 4 o'clock slate, a lot of really good teams. Not the closest numbers. The shortest spread is 5.5 points down in Vegas with the Raiders facing the Cardinals at home.
It seems to be like the middle window is a bounce back week for some teams. So
absolutely. I mean, a couple of the more disappointing teams from week 1, the Rams at home.
Niners, Bengals
against the Falcons. Niners 8.5 point favorites against the Seahawks in San Francisco. Dallas hosting. The Bengals is a 7-point underdog with Cooper Rush at quarterback, since they made no move that I've seen to this point to bring in any other quarterback. Broncos country will host the Texans. That's another 10-point favorite. There's a lot of, I think we see 2 or 3 of these big dogs cover. We maybe see even an outright win.
Yeah.
I mean, as we saw last week in some survivor pools out in Vegas, I think 5 of the top 7 picked teams lost outright, and they were all laying a TD or more. So any given Sunday has held true through a week at least.
One.
But yeah, I think the Rams are the biggest candidate to really bounce back and kind of show us that the showing against the Bills wasn't quite what that team is really capable of.
I mean, and the Bills are obviously the favorite to win the Super Bowl. So
right, and they proved that with authority. I think 31-10 win. So Rams at home, hopefully whatever cloud surrounds Cam Akers and his presence on the field gets rectified and he's out there. Darrell Henderson's certainly capable, if not, but I think he's definitely the better of that duo.
Yeah. I'd say so too.
Stafford, 3 picks in
Unfortunately,
the opener. He's going to have to do better than that. Get Allen Robinson involved. That pass rush, or excuse me, pass protection. I think Stafford got sacked 7 times.
he's gonna have to get a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, the Falcons do have AJ Terrell and some other young talent in that defense. Grady Jarrett up front. So,
But they, I mean,
nothing but
they let up points against the Saints. I mean, they let the Saints come back.
absolutely.
So,
Yeah, in true Falcons fashion. So,
oh, naturally.
I don't see them protecting a lead this week, but I mean, that offense with Mariota throwing to Drake London and Kyle Pitts almost exclusively, I don't think it's going to do enough. I know that the running back, Cordell Patterson, had a nice week last week, but I don't know if that.
The cornerback, the running back, wide receiver, tight end, flex guy that
Right,
they put at running
yeah,
back.
right, the everywhere guy. I don't think he replicates that production against this Rams defense, who's going to be, if nothing else, motivated. Ramsey got torched last week. I'd be stunned if that happens again. Aaron
Yeah,
Donald's going to be disruptive per usual. I think that might be the biggest blowout of the week, if I'm
yeah,
honest.
I agree. And then Niners are also looking to bounce back. I got Seahawks. Seahawks coming off a big win against the Broncos. I would say pretty much a revenge game for them with Russell Wilson coming back. But I wouldn't really put too much stock in that Niners loss. Um, ugly conditions. So no one can
Yeah,
really, no one wins that kind of game.
no. I mean, they were up to their credit, middle of the third quarter, I think 10-0.
Yeah,
Ended up losing in Soldier Field to Fields and the rain. So I just don't see how this Niners team, even coming off that game with weather having an impact. 8.5 points.
yeah. I don't know about the 8.5. I can see a win straight up, but I don't know about that 8.5. That's a
with
whew.
with Kittle back, with clear skies. I realize it's a
Yeah.
different Niners offense, but I that gives me pause right off the
Not
bat.
not that it matters much ever, but is Jamal Adams playing?
He's out for the season as of today. So
Ooh.
torn
Not that
quad.
like I said, not that I saw something that said he had more cart rides than he had interceptions.
I mean, the man sacks the quarterback. You want anything else, then that's going to be tough.
Yeah. So definitely probably a bounce back win for the 49ers. Is it at San Francisco?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'd probably go with them.
Yeah. Another one I had circled, the Cardinals, fresh off of maybe the most embarrassing loss of the week. Now the Rams didn't show off much in their opener, but 44 to, I can't remember what the Arizona Cardinals put up, but it wasn't 44 to the Chiefs last week. They're on the road this time against an AFC West opponent in the Raiders, who are coming off a tough loss last week to my Chargers. Raiders favored by almost a touchdown. That's another one that I kind of scrolled past and was interested in, but I doubt I touched just because I mean, the Raiders with 3 picks and a loss by I
Yeah.
think 5 points. If the Chargers cashed in on those turnovers, it's definitely a longer score than that. But I mean, two teams I think primed for a bounce back in
Yeah.
certain areas. So
That just seems like a weird trap game for bettors. I don't know. That's it, that nothing really does it for me that game. Wouldn't
no,
bet either to cover if that's possible.
I don't trust the Raiders to be 6 points better than any even fringe contender.
No.
Try not to let recency bias leak in too much, but again, I mean, if the Cardinals lose by 10 last week,
Yeah.
probably 2, 3.5. So
Definitely.
keep that in mind as you go through the board. The Sunday night game might also very well be a blowout because Aaron Rodgers.
Are we sure?
I it I think it could be.
I think it definitely. I mean, he's obviously owns the Bears, but the way that offense looked, yikes!
They may
And I
need
have him as a
Alan
quarterback.
Lazard.
Yeah. So
Yeah, Packers hosting the Bears Sunday night. Why put Chiefs Chargers there? We can watch Justin Fields and Aaron Rodgers throwing to nobody.
yeah,
Yeah, 10-point spread there.
it's like it's Packers Bears. That's why it's Sunday Night Football.
Right. That rivalry definitely deserves the spotlight. But I
Yeah.
mean, are the Packers 10 points better than anybody right now?
Not the way they played last week.
I,
I
I
mean,
mean,
and I know it was like raining and stuff too, but the Bears made a comeback. They won that game. So
yeah, I think Matt Nagy teams in the past would have rolled over, but new regime there, and obviously a starkly different result in a game they very well could have just given up on and looked packed up and looked ahead to this game in
Yeah.
Lambeau this weekend. But yeah, to their credit, Justin Fields, Equinemius St. Brown, David Montgomery, Khalil Herbert all making some plays there. The defense too.
Yep.
But yeah,
We
I
shall
don't know
see.
if they went outright, but
Yeah. I agree. I second that notion.
yeah. So this week, a little bit special on Monday night. We do get two games. The first is the Titans at the Bills, another 10-point spread that I think has a little bit more merit to it. And then an hour and 15 minutes later, we'll get the Vikings at the Eagles, which I think along with that Baltimore, Miami, and then the Chargers game tonight, those three are probably the best games of the week in my opinion, at least
Yeah.
where we sit
Yeah.
on Thursday.
Vikings and Eagles definitely will be a fun one. Yeah, that Titans Bills game kind of lost. That 10-point spread makes a lot of sense after what the Bills did to the Rams and then how the Titans ended up with New York, right? The
Yes, the
Giants.
Giants.
Yeah. So, like you said, that 10-point spread definitely has some merit to it, but the Bills' offense is pretty good this year.
Yeah, I mean, I hesitate to lay 10 with anybody in the
Yeah,
NFL just because of week to week how much things change. But if there's a team to do it with, it would be the Bills. With
definitely.
the Titans coming to town, that receiving core without A.J. Brown looked exactly like we thought it would.
Yep.
Tannehill is not going to elevate much on offense. He's more there to, just get it to capable talent and get out of the way. Derrick Henry, 80 yards on the ground, no touchdowns last week as they blew a 13-point lead, I want to say, to the Giants. Some bad late defense as well. Harold Landry, I think, out for the season. So, leader on defense, not going to be there this week or beyond. So, that may be something to look at if we, in a couple of months, be like, what in the world happened to the Titans? Uh,
Yeah.
that'd be something to circle for sure. Yeah, this Vikings Eagles game, I am really excited
Yeah.
for.
That's gonna be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, two impressive opening wins. One team was great, one team wasn't. But the Vikings last week got a lot of hype in the preseason, got a
He
lot of
showed it.
love
Yeah.
against the Packers, and they just destroyed them.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson, 150 yards, two TDs in the first half. He didn't do much after that because he didn't have to.
Yeah.
Because that game was well in hand pretty early in third quarter, I'd say, when it became apparent that it didn't matter what Minnesota did on offense because the Packers weren't going to score again. So
Yeah. Yeah. I think Jefferson's gonna have a big game again. Darius Slay is the Eagles' best cornerback. Oh
I
no,
believe so, yeah.
but I see him going. I mean, it's definitely gonna be a wide receiver show. With AJ Brown too, but
Right.
because I mean the Vikings didn't have that much of a test. Their corners weren't really tested last week because obviously the Packers wide receivers were terrible. But
Right.
um, yeah, that's definitely gonna be a fun game to watch. I would have liked Irv Smith to do a little bit more of that first game, but um, yeah, I
Speaking
think
of
it's gonna
goose
be.
eggs, though, Devonta Smith catchless with 2 targets last
Don't
week. So
don't don't get me started.
I would be stunned if that
I
repeats
had
itself. I don't care
I
who
had
they play.
Devontae in one league and Irv Smith in another.
Oh
So
no. Yeah,
James Bradbury and Darius Slay. So I bet Bradbury
okay,
will
yeah,
probably be over um
I can see that. Yeah,
Justin.
he's
But
revived his career after a stint in Carolina, to say the
hey,
least.
15-0.
All-time Stephen A. Smith rant
Yeah.
after Julio's 300 yards. But
That game still gives me nightmares after he went over Luke Kuechly. Ugh.
yeah, but yeah, so that's the entirety of our slate for this Thursday, Sunday, and Monday. I again picked out the five best, in my opinion, games, and we're gonna see who we like straight up for these. The first one, we led the show with it. I'm pretty sure Bucks Saints in the early window. What are your thoughts there?
Uh, I think the Bucks finally get over the hump. I don't think Jameis is. Jameis is Jameis. You never know what you're going to get out of him. I know that Saints defense is pretty good. I think it's going to be a close game, but I'm going to rock with the Bucks.
We're not gonna have. Well, we might have four of the same, but we're not gonna open on the same page this time. I'm gonna take the Saints. I just something.
Yeah,
The teams have guys' numbers. It just happens, and there's no
I,
real rhyme or reason to it.
I don't
Um,
disagree with that at all. But
Godwin out. You're in the dome. Your almost entire rest of your supporting cast has been hampered in practice in some form this week. Um, Still the greatest quarterback of all time, Tom
yeah,
Brady, but he's 45 years old, 44 years old, somewhere in there. So
yeah,
I I don't know how much magic he has left, to be honest. I mean, we saw him against the Rams in the NFC Championship game, almost just absolutely stun them to get back to the Super Bowl. But this Saints team, this defense, just has his number. I think if you had to look 3 or 4 of his worst games of his Tampa career against this team, this defense,
Yeah.
whether it be in New Orleans or in Tampa Bay. So I'm gonna take the Saints.
I don't hate that pick. I hope you're wrong.
Another one we could very well be on opposite sides on again. Patriots and the Steelers.
I still like the Steelers. I think their defense is gonna win them this game. Is Najee playing?
Yeah, he should be fine.
Okay. Yeah. I think he's gonna. I mean, they obviously were able to beat the Bengals last week, but this is at home too. Or this is going to be at home. So I like the Steelers.
Yeah, we are going to be on the same page on this one. I like the Steelers as well. Najee playing, going to be the best player on the field on offense, and Minka Fitzpatrick will be the best player on the field on defense. So,
Yep.
I mean, at Hines, I think they realized how lucky they got last week to escape with that win, as disruptive as that defense was. And Mac Jones is no Joe Burrow, so
Yeah.
we could, especially if that back ailment follows him into this matchup. I think that this Steelers defense is going to feast again.
Even without T.J. Watt.
Right, and I think that the secondary can do enough to make up for that loss in the pass rush,
Agreed.
led by Minka. But yeah, I realized that going against the Patriots back-to-back weeks is asking for it, but I was pretty nail on the head last week.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I feel good about this one.
Yeah, now at the Patriots, I may swing the other way, but I think the Steelers get this done at Hines.
Agreed. Yep.
Next one, Dolphins Ravens.
Whew. I like the Dolphins. I just like the Dolphins this year. I think they got a lot of confidence. They got weapons. So, and their defense isn't terrible. I'm gonna go with Dolphins because if Dobbins doesn't play, the Ravens run game ain't gonna be anything. So, yeah, give me the Dolphins. Give me the Fins. Fins up, baby.
This was the one I thought the most about. I struggled with it a lot back and forth. But I mean, you mentioned that Ravens backfield sans 100% Dobbins, which we certainly won't see this week. I think if he is in there, it's not his peak certainly that we've seen. I think it's too early for that coming off his injury. So I'm gonna hit the Dolphins as well. I could very well see the Ravens just going out and winning this game, something like 24-17, somewhere in there. I don't think it's gonna be a lot of points, but I'm gonna hit the Dolphins. I think they have a better defense, certainly better weapons on offense. Obviously, the QB swings back to Baltimore, but yeah, I'm gonna take the Dolphins.
Yep, I agree on that.
All right, last one I've got circled on Sunday: Cardinals and the Raiders.
I think this is gonna be it's got to be a bounce back week for both teams, but I like the Raiders. They played that game against the Chargers close, not closer than it probably should have been, but yeah, give me the Raiders. The Cardinals offense ain't much until D Hop gets back. So
Right, yeah, a lot left to be desired from that Cardinals offense. The Raiders offense too with the turnovers. This is another one that I struggle with a good bit, and I tried to put blinders on from last week and ask myself if this game was last week, who I think would win. And for that reason, I'm going to take the Cardinals.
yeah, we got more variability in the NFL than we do college.
Yeah, I mean, obviously off last week, I mean, these two teams played teams matched up tonight within a field goal, and those were two very different final scores and losses. But trying to avoid recency bias a bit, see how that works for me. I'm going to take Kyler and this Cardinals offense. I mean, James Conner is going to have to do big things again, especially with Nuke gone, as you mentioned, for this game and 4 more after this. But yeah, I think the Cardinals can get a big road win, maybe get some more confidence going after a tough home loss to start the season. I mean, going through the best division in football, start of the season is going to be tough, especially with a lot of the pressure on Kyler to lead this team to greater heights than he has to this point in his career, especially with his new Call of Duty game looming. So, the time is now to get these games.
Double XP's coming up.
On the win column, exactly. He's going to be busy here soon with this Call of Duty game coming out in, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 weeks from now. So they tend to be good earlier in the year and then they kind of taper off towards the end. So I think if that continues, they win a game like this, even as a almost touchdown underdog. So yeah, give me the Cardinals.
Yeah. So, yep, got more variants. That's what we need on the show.
And the fifth one, it's on Monday. It's the later game. I mentioned how good of a game I'm expecting it to be, but Vikings Eagles.
They screwed me last week. Screw the Eagles. I'm going with the Vikings.
We're gonna be, yeah. I'm on the Eagles. They did
Ooh,
screw me last week, so I'm gonna take the better quarterback at home. Justin Jefferson's gonna put on a show, I think, regardless. Him and AJ Brown should both excel. Again, we saw last week they put up like 300 yards total. Dalvin Cook obviously is a problem on offense as well. This Philly team, without Derek Barnett, is going to have to really step up and try and contain him. Because if him and Jefferson have days, then I'm going to be wrong about this pick. But yeah, give me the Eagles. Give me the Jalen Hurts hype rolling for another week.
J Jets, baby. That's my boy.
All right, so yeah, that's the straight up slate that we like. What about the board? What you thinking there?
Let me see. I know the first one that really stuck out to me when I was looking, Steelers +2. I mean, if I have them winning, I'm obviously going to go with them +2.
Yeah,
So.
I like that. I use that logic for one of mine as well. Another 2.5 point dog, but that's the New Orleans Saints. I think that this, whatever it is, whether it's voodoo or a similar form of, I don't even know what to even call it, but I think they get the win. I don't like this injury report from Tampa Bay this week, even today. Like their top 6 guys on offense are at least limited, if not out of practice. I mean, we mentioned Godwin might be the best one, is out for this week, potentially longer. So, given their struggles against the Cowboys defense on Sunday night, with those guys in and out of the game, I just don't see them going into New Orleans and winning. So, give me the Saints, had them outright, taking them again plus the 2.5.
Yeah. Going with my kind of off the pick'ems, I got the Vikings to win. I got them to cover too. Give me that +2.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. If you like a team as a small dog, then yeah, go with that money line. I'm gonna take a favorite with my next one though. Give me the Browns -6.5 against the Jets. It worked last week, betting the Jets. Actually, no. I switched from the Ravens against the Jets to the Niners against the Bears. It was my only loss all weekend. So, in spirit of that, I don't see the Jets going on the road to a Cleveland team with a better roster and still. Well, I'll give Flacco some respect. Maybe not a better quarterback in Brissett, but 6.5. I just don't think the Jets compete on the road against anybody, especially not Cleveland, the talent they have on defense as well, to contain a Jets offense that was pathetic last week against a talented defense in Baltimore. So give me the Browns -6.5.
Gotcha. I want to go on a whim here. Bears +9.5.
Yeah,
We're going we're going ballsy. Packers offense ain't much this year. I think the Bears have a lot of momentum off of that win against the against the 49ers in the monsoon. So
yeah.
back in Big Cat, we're going +9.5. Go Bears.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're gonna go off of teams that just why are they being given this many points, you could look at San Francisco as well. I think Rodgers just finds a way, unlike Brady. I think that the Packers were the more disappointing teams week one. That offense you have to rebound. So, them laying that many points to anybody kind of raises eyebrows, but I just think Rodgers finds a way to get it done. But maybe not in the fashion I expect. So I do not hate that one. I'm going to close this out on my end with a thing I hate doing, and that's taking 10 points in the NFL. But I'm going to lay it with the Rams.
Yeah. Ooh, I thought you were going to go Bills there.
Something about that. The Titans have done too much in the past.
That's fair.
Paid them by that number, at least yet. But yeah, give me Stafford and the Rams. That defense led by Ramsey to rebound in a big way. They're going to put up more than 10 points in this one. So give me them hosting an East Coast team that is well inferior to them talent-wise. And
yeah, beat up on the Falcons, please.
Yeah, coming off another tough blown lead.
Yeah, we didn't do this before. Our results from last week, I went 3-2. I lost the Panthers and the Raiders. Won the Dolphins, Vikings, Bucks. Grayson went 4-1. Won the Dolphins, Chargers, Vikings, Bucks. Lost Panthers. Jacob 2-3. Lost Dolphins, Browns, or won Dolphins, Browns, and then lost Raiders, Packers, Cowboys. I went 0-3 on my bets. Grayson went 2-1. Jacob went 0-3. So probably fade Grayson, but I'm gonna have a bounce back week. Calling my shots.
I will not go 2-1 this week. I think I'll go 3-0. So appreciate the motivation there.
We're all going
I,
3-0.
Yeah, like I've been saying, COVID negative, card positive. That's
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good weekend. If nothing else, these games are gonna be a very good way to spend a weekend. So I'm excited for that. Excited for game day in Boone on Saturday. Hopefully, I won't need that to lift my spirits from tonight and the Chargers, but we will see. You got anything else this weekend of football?
Just ready to sit down and do nothing again and watch football.
Yeah, that is the best way to spend an early fall Sunday. But yes, that's all we got. The NFL slate. We will tweet these at the 10:09, and then this will be on Spotify, on iTunes per usual, and as well on our YouTube page at the 10:09 podcast. If you want to see our beautiful faces as we cover the slates this weekend.
Yeah, go check us out. Don't probably choose our bets, but if you really do, we hope we win for you.
Yeah, not financial advice.
No, not at all. So, if that's it, I ain't got anything else.
Yeah, we will talk to you guys on Monday.
All right, deuces.
Subscribe.